Hi everybody, it's Miss R. I am doing this video to talk about our last measurement part of the pathway, which is the customary units of capacity or liquid measure. So these are the units that we commonly use here in the US. A lot of them are going to sound familiar to you because your parents may use them when they're making a recipe. So the first one is one that you won't find very much of on IXL, but it's a good thing to know. Teaspoons to tablespoons. So the way I remember is the abbreviations. Teaspoon is TSP. Tablespoon is TBSP. And the tablespoon, I'm going to get a new marker. The tablespoon is bigger than the teaspoon. There's actually 3 teaspoons in each tablespoon. So to give you an idea, if your recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of something, that means 6 teaspoons. And then vice versa, if your recipe calls for a half of a tablespoon, that would be the same as 1.5 teaspoons. So just a brief overview of those two because you won't find them on IXL very much. The rest of these you're going to find a lot of on IXL when you do your practice, and also you're going to hear these a lot in recipes, so they may sound familiar. Some of them also are referring to liquids that we may drink. So you may hear pint, quart, and gallon when it refers to things like milk or cream or other liquid drinks. So the first one, the smallest unit of measure, is the ounce. And the difference between this ounce and the ounce that you use for weight is this is called a fluid ounce, so FL ounce. And a fluid ounce is about as much as a spoon. So if you have a household spoon, a small one, and you fill it with water, how much water you've got in there is about a fluid ounce. So a cup is 8 fluid ounces. The next one is a pint. The pint is 2 cups. So how many fluid ounces are in a pint if it's 2 cups? Wouldn't we do 8 times 2 to get that answer? We would. So it's 16 fluid ounces. The next one, after pint, is a quart. So a quart is 4 cups, 2 pints. How many fluid ounces would that be? If it's got 4 cups and there's 8 ounces in a cup, what's 8 times 4? Give you a second to figure that out while I write the answer. 32 fluid ounces in a quart. And the very last one is a gallon. So you may see gallon very frequently because it talks about gallon of milk, gallon of water sometimes. You may see them at the store. You may see it in a recipe or a game that you're doing. But the gallon is the largest customary unit of liquid measure for capacity. The gallon is 4 quarts. And the abbreviation for quart is QT. The 8 pints, and I should have said this, but the abbreviation for pint is PT, and 16 cups. So if there is 16 cups in a gallon, we're going to do 16 times 8 to figure out how many ounces. And the answer is 128 ounces of liquid in 1 gallon. And just so you know, the gallon is comparable to the metric unit, which is the kiloliter, and the gallon is much smaller than the kiloliter, but they're both the largest measure of the capacity. One's customary, one's metric. So these are our conversions. We start with fluid ounces, then we go to cups, pints, quarts, and lastly, gallons. And then in the beginning, there was a tidbit of information about converting from teaspoons to tablespoons. And remember that there are 3 teaspoons in each tablespoon. Thank you, everybody.